There you are.
Sweet. And I think we're back live.
Hi, guys.
I think we
Don't
are
cry because you're
back.
watching our show, Amber.
I know. We don't want no sadness here, Amber. I don't even what are we Oh, this is us. Oh, interesting. Okay. I was like, what show are we even talking about here? All right. Hi guys. Hello. I need to change a couple things real quick because it still says some other stuff. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Bad Frog, if you want to talk to the people, you can.
Okay. Thanks for showing up again. I don't know what the big draw is to come see us, but don't mess with me, Miss J. Don't mess with me. Hi, DLC's wife. I don't know. She may or may not come in today or not. She's still packing to move.
Oh, is she moving?
Yeah, she's moving from Kentucky to Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Army Chick is back in the bedroom reading a book.
Oh, nice.
Because I don't like her out here. She likes to poke me in the ear and stuff.
She does poke you a lot. What book is she reading? Do you know?
I don't know. It's some kind of like it's some kind of romance book. As now, see what you did.
What? Well then.
Thanks, guys.
Hi, Waffling. Hi, Jester.
Somebody said hi. Hey, hi, Strange Cup.
I guess. All right. Welcome to Mixcast episode 9. We've got a whole bit of a show for you guys. Subjects of the day pertain to balancing your work, life, and fun. And we're curious, like, what do you find that you have to trade out some of your like gaming time because of other life things, like if you have kids or anything like that, or do bills keep you from doing certain things that you used to be able to do, or things along that line? Like, we're just curious of like what goes on in the lives of you guys, because we talk about us a lot. So you guys know that I do my streaming and I have my work and all that stuff, but we'd like to know what you guys do. The other scheduled topics are: what game started you off? What game do you guys what game started you in video games? What brought you here? What brought you here? And then lastly, what is your favorite video game? Because you had a game that started you off, but it might not be your favorite one. What ended up being your favorite one? All right. So, first off, how's everyone doing today? How was your day, Bad Frog? How was
It was a little slow today, kind of. It was kind of nice.
slow for modding?
Yeah, slow for modding today. Not everybody was on today. It was kind of nice. So you
Okay.
know how it is.
I
Some
gotcha.
days are horrible and some days aren't.
I gotcha. Um oh yeah. Okay. So Waffling says his day was good. Sweet. But yeah. Let's jump into it. It wouldn't let me chat because of how many sparks I spent. Big, what do I do? You're talking right now, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I think you're talking on another channel, and there's pretty much nothing you can do unless you send the streamer a message on Discord or something.
Um,
Are you talking about this channel last stream? Because that's not possible.
yeah, we don't time people out for spending sparks or anything like that. We just yeah. So
And besides which, you wouldn't be here if you'd gotten banned.
yeah. Your day was fantastic, Waffling. Why was it fantastic? Hi, Belly. Oh, actually, Do I have Muffin here or any mods in general? Muffin's been super quiet today, so I don't even know if she's here.
I keep forgetting to turn you down. I get that echo and it drives me nuts.
Right now, we're just doing our welcoming. MD is here. MD, you're here? I thought he was still at work.
I thought I saw Sugar Bean earlier.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I had 0 mods this weekend. I thought he'd say he was home. I have 0 mods this weekend. Literally every time I need a mod,
Nope,
there's no
there's
mods.
Muffin.
You're here? Okay. All right. Can you... I'm literally here. Well, we called your name out like 2 minutes ago. You didn't say anything.
She was on Mars. She had to come back.
You can't hear me? I'm trying. What do you mean you can't hear me? My laptop speakers suck. Oh.
Get some headphones, Muffin.
Can you do an at everyone for Discord? I thought she uses headphones for everything anyway. Yeah. She has 2 sets of headphones.
Oh,
I thought she used
to...
headphones for everything anyway. All right. All right. So let's start it off. Work-life fun balance. So I guess I'll just start it off. So that way you guys can fill in like what you guys do and what sort of balance you have to make. So my work balance did a drastic change doing full-time streaming 7 hours a day 5 days a week to working 5 days a week, the 9 to 5, except I start my drive at 10 and I get there for 11. So my my work schedule is actually like 11 to 6:30. And then we do so I do 11 to 6:30, then I come home and I do I either eat some dinner and then do the podcast and then go play some casual games if it's Mondays or Tuesdays, or I do the long stream, which is 8 to 9 and then 9 to midnight. But yeah, and because streaming isn't my full-time job anymore, that is my life/fun, because I enjoy streaming for you guys, providing that entertainment and hanging out with you guys. But the fun balance that takes out of is I don't do anything other than what you see me do. I go to Tiny Build, I do the podcast, and I do my streams, and that's it. Like, I'll watch a couple shows in the evening, but I don't go out. I don't go hang out in the city or anything along that line. Like, you guys see me almost like 100% of my life. It's pretty crazy. So I think a lot of the fun balance I actually sacrifice because I enjoy streaming so much that I'd rather give up a whole bunch of other things to be able to hang out with you guys here. So it's a kind of a weird trade that I never gave up hanging out with friends to spend time online until I moved to Seattle. So very interesting trade that I had made there. So what sort of balances do you make, Bedfrog?
Well, see, I've always had a problem with making any kind of balance at all throughout my whole life. I tend to put whatever's in front of me is the only thing I see.
Oh,
if it's my job, I put 100% into it, no matter what it takes.
Yeah.
If I game, I like the last game I really played through was The Witcher, and I played it beginning to end, nonstop, 16 hours a day, because I was already retired at the time. And now, as you know, I'm on Mixer 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
Either modding or doing this or messing with people, something. Yeah. But I don't know what balance is. I've never had balance in my life. So I'm 100% into anything that's in front of me. So
like, if you weren't doing Mixer, what would you be doing?
I have no idea, because I had.
Because you have motorcycles in the garage and stuff. Would you be doing any of that stuff?
No, I got issues, so I wouldn't be doing that either. But I had that problem when I first moved here. that I didn't have anything to do. So I basically found myself pacing in my apartment.
Oh, okay.
So it just, and then for whatever reason, I found Mixer. And within 4 days, I was watching channel after channel after channel.
Yeah.
I never said a word on Mixer for a month.
Yeah, that was me too.
And now you can't shut me up.
What's up, Cash Ram? Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, what about you guys? What do you guys do for your work-life fun balance? And if you were able to trade out something, what, like, yeah, let's say if you spend most of your day here on Mixer, what sort of thing are you trading to be able to be here on Mixer? Or like, let's say you spend most of your day like outside of work, you know, because everyone's got to work, everyone's got to make money, right? So if you weren't doing whatever you're currently doing outside of work, like part of your life slash fun, what would you be doing? I'm curious of that stuff.
Well, Redhead says coming from a lifestyle of focused around the family, then living on her own, and not having a friends group, she realized that she had lost touch with the family time that she had had before.
Interesting.
And that makes sense. You kind of got give up something when you move out. So
Do you, so like if you had given up on that, or if you had traded that out, what would you go back to having that? Like what are you trading? So you said moving out is what caused you to not have that. Would you move back in order to have that, Redhead, or are you not provided that option? What do you do through that? Wonderboy says, I think I'm a Mixer addict. If you weren't watching Mixer, what would you be doing? Wonderboy. What did you do previously? What do you think you would do? That's the sort of thing that I'm interested in. Inked says that he would trade out his school life. Uh, who needs that? All right, sorry, social life, not school. Social. Who needs that? Do do you have a very active social life right now, Inked? Because I know you stream a lot and you hang out in streams a lot. So I'm curious, like, do you go out often? I've just never heard. I don't think I've ever heard of you talking about you going out that often. So there is no balance.
holy cow! Now they're coming.
Yeah, it takes a long time for people to type this stuff out. So,
Redhead said,
yeah.
I have that option. I found the friendships through Mixer. Those have become my family who understand me.
Oh, very cool.
And that's
a lot
honestly
of us.
a lot of us, I
Yeah.
think, because I know that's the way for me. Is I've got contact with a bunch of people on here, and we kind of know each other well enough that it just is almost like family.
Yeah.
I understand that completely.
British Chairs before said it's also good to, or it's good to also exercise and have outside time, heart health wise. Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that I had to start picking up too, because streaming full time and then gaming didn't mean that I had a lot of outside time. So I would go on walks and that sort of thing. And I want to get a bicycle soon, so that way I can go biking, because I really enjoy biking. So, but now I work at Tiny Build, so I drive an hour a day, and I actually get to walk around there a lot, so it's fun. Gao says, I used to work for a while and then game. The past 2 years, though, when I started out, I was modding sometimes up to 30 to 40 hours straight, and then only sleep a few hours and then mod some more for 30 to 40 hours. Now, after I fully heal, I'll be going back to work again to try and balance Mixer with your job. Okay, I gotcha. So it sounds like while you've been ill, Mixer has been a good coping for you, and you'll once you get better, you'll be able to go back to work and balance your free time with Mixer. So that sounds good. Inked and Miss Inked go play Pokemon Go together. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Well, Amberoo's got, since my daughter was born last December, my life has changed a lot. I suspect that's true.
Yeah.
I am now a stay-at-home mom and babysit as well. So I'm still learning to balance raising a child and housework and fun time. I don't get much fun time these days, I miss going out with friends and being more involved in photography, but wouldn't change my daughter for the world, though.
Trade, but yes.
Sorry, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there's some things you're willing to perfectly well give up
Yeah.
to have something else, and
Yeah.
for you, that was a child.
Yeah. Um, there's a little bit of some of that freedom once the child grows up a little bit. You can get babysitting to be able to go hang out with your friends every couple days or something like that. So hopefully you can start moving into that and maybe go back into your photography or do photography of your child. To practice that a little bit. That would be really cool if you took like really nice professional photography of your child or in environments or anything like that. That's really cool stuff. Hello again, Cash. Um, Miss JG has kids. She has no life balance. um, Scribs, my social life is almost non-existent. I sometimes spend way too much playing games when I should be focusing more on work, friends, and family. Is your work strictly drawing, Scribs? Because I know you take on a lot of commissions. But playing games is good. You just got to find that balance where playing games is too much. If you're gaming for like 12 hours a day, there's probably some other things that you could be doing within that 12 hours where you could be getting some other stuff done too. But you still get to game, just maybe not 12 hours.
Redhead is back with which I'm trying to. I want to make sure I understand this. It's also a positive negative due to the fact that we can't be a lot more honest with people because we don't see their body language. I actually find it's a lot easier to be honest with people on here because I don't see them. Granted, you can just make up stories and lie. How are they going to know? But I find it a lot easier to actually be more open with people on here than I do standing in front of me. It's kind of an odd thing, but it's kind of the way I am.
It's that social anxiety thing. Like when you're talking with a person like in real life, it's like you almost want to try to boost yourself up a little bit instead of being like, I'm just this boring guy. Why do you guys care about me? But like when you're over the internet, since you don't really have a reason to lie, it's really nice to be able to just openly chat. And especially if people don't judge you in whatever circumstance, it's nice to be able to just talk and be in the comfort of other people, and people can learn about you. And there's no reason to lie because what benefit does that do? But yeah. Inked says, me and Miss always go play Pokemon Go together, but I have a lot of issues with going out and I hate it. So I usually
Don't you start that.
Oh, I know. It's been a long day for me. So I usually stay in, but Miss Inked pushes me out. I haven't had enough water today because I did the Beat Saber for a while, and man, that pushes a lot of energy out of you. Hello, Vince. Let's see. British chairs. I'm in cancer care work for full-time mixer gives me comic relief. Oh, cool.
Green Arrow's got work for me is 9 to 4, then home and clean. Finally, 2 hours a game, except for Thursdays. I spend time with my girlfriend. Social is so bad because I only have one best friend and we can barely spend time to hang. That's kind of the part of being adult. It sucks sometimes, but it sounds like you've at least got some sort of balance and schedule in your life, so you're not just always shaking trying to get somewhere. So
yeah, part of that's one of the unfortunate parts of being an adult is that you don't get to hang out with your friends that often. So hopefully that your friends at work are actually friends and you get to enjoy hanging out with them at work. But being able to spend time on the weekend or maybe going after work and if you're old enough to grab a beer or to go see a movie or anything like that, like like Cassie has a couple of friends that she hangs out with from work, and we'll go all meet like directly after their work shift ends, and we'll all go watch a movie, or we'll go get dinner because it's like directly right after, so we can like time those things perfectly. So it works out sometimes. So big stole my idea. Was it the photography one or the babysitting one? Redhead. Um, let's see. No worries, that boy. Starting in February, my kid will be going to dance and gymnastics, and in April, add t-ball. Oh man, that's a lot of organizations of all the sports and driving them around and stuff. um,
Scribs has got. It doesn't help that my gaming setup and work setup is in the same area.
oh yeah,
But his main work right now is commissions, so he's looking for something more stable at the moment. I
gotcha.
can understand that. Living some weeks could be really good, and some weeks could be really bad.
I try to get Scribs work as much as I can. I give recommendations for him, but sometimes his commissions get like really backed up, and then I always have new work for him here on Mixer and stuff. So, um, but yeah, what I had to do, Scribs, was like I have my whole streaming and gaming setup right here in front of me. I have my 4 monitors, everything, and it's great to work on. But I find I get myself so distracted by streams or anything like that. I have my work laptop downstairs on the kitchen counter, and I have a bar stool. So I sit on the bar stool and work there, even though it's only one screen. I'm not distracted. So Scribs does design, you say? You didn't know that? Scribs has done all of my designs for my stream except for like the bio stuff that Muffin started to do. Scribs has done all like the burger, the t-shirts, whole bunch of stuff. Even Muffin started doing some of the t-shirts too.
Yeah, on the chance of making people sick here. This is my how do I do this now?
What are you
This
trying
is
to
my
do?
work
Oh,
area.
on
You
the
see?
couch with all the cords?
Yep.
Nice.
That's my work area. And
You
here's
gotta
my
get you a table.
there's me sitting in front of it.
All right. Let me jump on some of these.
Stop it.
Oh man, it's tough, man. I gotta get some G Fuel on me. Um, let's see. Redhead says, "Do you think getting together for a few people in your area? Wait, do you think doing get-togethers for a few people in your area, and that helps with the fun life balance?" Yeah, absolutely. So like every Sunday before I started full-time streaming, because I had Monday or Sundays and Saturdays and Sundays off, every Sunday I would do a barbecue for the people at Xbox. So I invited everyone from Xbox that like worked in my department to come up to the barbecue, and we played anything from games like One Night Werewolf to like regular just card games like poker to Secret Hitler, whole bunch of like super fun nerdy games, and it allowed for like a grand amount of like hanging out with a bunch of friends, grilling up some burgers, drinking some beers, playing a bunch of games, and it all combined it into one, so it really felt like your social life went skyrocketed, like really awesome. Yeah, Secret Hitler. If you don't know it, it's a really funny board game. There's a whole bunch of them, like Exploding Kittens or Bears versus Babies. A whole bunch of them. They're like great, great, great nerdy games.
Bears versus babies can't be that fun. The
Oh,
baby
it's
has
fun.
no chance.
Oh, it's fun.
Mr. Mister's got yeah, finding groups is awesome. Like out there, I tried with hiking groups, but I can't keep up with a ton of them. So it's hard finding people, and being outside the comfort zone is something I'm always trying. That's a good thing to always do, because otherwise you end up like me, where you're mostly housebound because you're terrified of going outside and being around people. So
Yeah,
yeah, I would
makes it
keep
tough.
that up.
Makes it tough. Mr. says, when you first moved to Seattle, how did you meet people? So, I started off with a job here. I didn't enjoy the job that I was here for, but I made friends that were around my age there. And then I got a job at Xbox 3 months later, and that was where I made a lot of friends. Um, and I already knew approximately between like 20 and 50 people who lived in Seattle, but those people are like, I mean, some of them are up to like double my age, and like they're just friends through the same entertainment. So they all play Xbox, or they all go to PAX together, or or you know, anything along that line. They're all Halo community, so just people that I know through that. So I was just lucky that I moved to an area where I just knew a lot of people in general. But I don't hang out with those people a lot. However, if there are events, I always say, "Hey, are any of you guys going to this? Because I'll be there. We can meet up and say hi," type of thing. So, um, meeting people is the hardest thing. It's like you have to be able to go out and do something where you're gonna meet people that enjoy doing the same thing as you. So if you um, like for example, I loved craft beer. I love craft beer. I love when people make their own beer and sell it. Um, in Seattle's a massive hub for for making your own beer and selling it. And so there's a lot of small microbreweries where people make their own beer and they sell it and at a bar. And uh, that community is really, really nice people. So like if you go to any of these places, they're usually playing great rock and roll music. It's such a comfortable environment. And they're so welcoming. They're so welcoming to hang out with. And if you can manage to bring one person with you, so that way you can just like sit at a table, have conversations. Sometimes they have like board games just all over the table, so you guys can just play with others. They're really well done. So, um,
And to answer your question, Waffling Fox, no, we don't need know each other in real life. Funny enough, we live 10 hours away from each other.
yeah,
And if not for my problems, we would have already met at
at PAX.
whatever at PAX,
Yeah.
because Big had a big barbecue with a bunch of people,
Yep.
and I just couldn't go. So that's I have limits that are on me because of things.
Yeah.
So
Darth, when he moved to California, he met people to hang out with at metal concerts. That's huge because the metal community is really funny. You'll see the same people going to all of the different metal concerts because it's kind of a niche market, and it's actually really, really cool. You'll see the same people going to all the metal concerts. They're fun to hang out with, and they enjoy the same music as you, obviously. So it's just fun to talk with them. So
that's I'm slightly older, so I go see Ozzy and Rush, and it's funny to go to those because you see sometimes three generations of a family in the audience. You'll see somebody slightly older than me, and they've got their son or daughter and their son or daughter, and it's odd to me. But you make some interesting contacts that way,
yeah,
where you just with three generations of people. So
yeah. Wonder Boy watched the barbecue stream. We had a lot of decent community that came through and watched it. It was really fun. Um, yeah. No, it was it's a good way to hang out with people, going to events that you enjoy and meeting people there. Met a couple people at Avenged Sevenfold concerts this year, and they invited me to the Metallica concert next year. Nice, that's awesome. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, let's jump into the next one. You better make it to South. Hi Gaga Baba. What game started you off? What was the very first video game you ever played? Very first video game you ever played. Also British. Did I see that you're here in Seattle as well? Pong, Super Mario World, Gears of War was the first video game you ever played? Oh, nice. British shares. That's awesome.
yeah, unfortunately, I have to go with Pong. And I had one of the first home gaming units that had 16 games of Pong. You had basketball Pong, you had tennis Pong, you had anyway 16 versions of Pong on this thing. So, and I got it when I was in 4th grade when I broke my leg on a ski slope because I was at home for a week.
Dang.
So, yep, I
Um.
had an Atari.
Sonic. What is it? Sonic Head Spyro.
Hey, Dr.
Um.
Rage, good to see you.
Killer Instinct on Game Boy. So you must have been excited when it came back out for Xbox. Super Mario Brothers NES. MX vs ATV. Um.
Battle Tanks on Atari. I remember that. It was horribly hard to play.
An Atari. Pretty sure it was a Pong on the Atari, then Super Mario on the NES. I think mine was either Pong or Super Mario on the NES as well. Pretty sure it was one of the two. Um,
Oh,
Combat on the
Nintendo
Atari.
Duck Hunt. That game was so much fun.
Paperboy. Oh man, I remember that too.
Super
Um,
Mario, the original, Dr. Rage.
Battle Tanks on Atari. COD Ghosts. Oh man, that's fairly new. Um,
Spy
Treasure
Hunter, I
Mountain on
remember that
PC.
one. Yep, we just
Oh,
said Duck
Sonic the
Hunt.
Hedgehog. Gotcha.
Of course, Miss JG might have been saying Duck Hunk. Who knows? She's old.
The game that made me like gaming was Conker's Bad Fur Day on N64. Nice. Star Wars Rogue Squadron for N64. Wow, that's a cool one. Almost quit gaming after the Virtual Boy. It gave me major migraines. Gave everyone major migraines. That's the reason why it didn't succeed. Virtual reality. It took like another 20 years for virtual reality to come back.
Gran Turismo on the PS3. Was that the first one or the PS2? I can't remember, but it was such a beautiful game compared to everything that was out there. PS1. I must have had an older generation of it then, but it's just like Forza now. It's one of the most beautiful games out there as far as scenery and as far as that goes. And that's kind of how Gran Turismo was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always loved Gran Turismo.
Um let's see.
I guess we could go with part of this could be what game also made you basically fall in love with gaming.
Yeah.
As far as this was going to be not necessarily your first game, but the game that said, "Hey, I really like this." So, I
Yeah.
mean, like it was still on the Atari, and it was the Space Invaders, as a matter of fact. Which,
Space Invaders, yeah.
if you look at it now, it's really horrible. We played hours and hours and hours of that game trying to beat it.
What do you mean Space Invaders is horrible? That's a fantastic game. Let's see. Spy Hunter, Dr. Rage, Killer Instinct on SNES from Scribs. The Duck Hunt. Gal was just mentioning the Duck Hunt dog was the first major troll. Amberu. First I remember was Pong at my grandma's, then Super Mario or Duck Hunt on the NES. Tony Hawk's Underground series. Tony Hawk Underground series was your first game, mister? And Gran Turismo the original? Oh.
No, I think he was just talking about games in general.
First game I was OP at was Yoshi's Island.
You can see when we ask what game made you fall in love with gaming, they're starting to get really familiar. Doom, Duke Nukem. I hadn't heard of Commander Keen. Call of Duty. I mean, Might and Magic. These are getting closer to at least current.
Revolution 007 GoldenEye. That was one of my first games as well. Let's see. Yeah, GoldenEye. Probably Atari 2600 Combat. Lots of arcades before that, though. Yeah. Arcade gaming, yeah.
Well, yeah, that was the big thing. It was sticking them quarters in the machines. I went through rolls and rolls of quarters one summer.
Tank Zelda, I was hooked. Gauntlet, freaking loved Gauntlet. Just games in general made me want to play to this day. Might and Magic 3, Commander Keen. I don't know that one either. Contra, amazing game. Goodies, Metroid. I loved Metroid. Metroid Prime was like the game killer for me. I played that one so much. Like, I was stuck on that game for so long, man. Metroid Prime was so good. Um,
Oh, that's cool. Redhead female. They have 3 arcade bars in my area. It's nice to go just hang out with people and enjoy.
we
You're
have,
starting to see a lot more of those. They're dragging those old quarter machines out
yeah,
and refurbing them and putting them in places. They're still. I played Miss Pac-Man not more than a couple of years ago on the old. I don't know if you remember the old sit-down one
yeah,
where you sat down and your hands were underneath the glass thing
yeah,
for playing.
yep.
I played that, and I can't remember what the name of it is, but it was a 2-dimensional thing. Excuse me. Go ahead.
Uh, Sweet
Oh,
saying Halo 3 was the game that made me love video games. Um, Maybe Miss JG. I think you'll remember if I posted a photo big. We actually have a couple of those arcade bars up here in Seattle. We have a big famous one called GameWorks. They have like tons of arcade machines. But we have um, like pinball arcades up here, so it's like a bar and then there's just like 20 pinball machines, whole bunch of stuff. GameWorks on Pike Street. Yep. We have GameWorks, and then I'm in the process of trying to open up a LAN center here in Seattle and a whole bunch of stuff. So like people like try to live or try to bring video gaming into more of a social life all the time, and it's really fantastic. So um you have a board game bar actually also nice. I see like at restaurants around here they just have board games, so um I
Wonder
enjoy that as well.
Wonder Boys. I love video games after I first laid hands on Super Mario Brothers. I'll stop there for a second. That was the time I was a gap in where I was playing video games when I was younger, and that was when I started playing video games again was Mario Brothers. And I can't tell you how many nights 4 or 5 of us sat around taking turns trying to beat that stupid thing all the way through. And and we had lots of apple juice. But
Apple
the
juice.
funny thing, yeah, well, we had apple juice. It's healthy. But but the second part of his thing was, but Twisted Metal Black introduced me to the first to online console gaming,
Yeah.
and Halo 2 locked in the online gaming for me.
Yep.
Twisted Metal Black was so much fun.
Yeah.
It's
I remember
completely
Twisted Metal.
stupid, but so much fun. And you could troll people so bad on it.
Yeah. Um Car Wars on Apple LLC plus Mech Warrior. Mech Warrior was a huge one to bring people into gaming as well. Um Dorkies in Tacoma. I never go down to Tacoma. But Dr. Rage said, "Have you ever heard of AFK Bar up in Everett?" Yep, been there. Um there's a few like a whole bunch of different types of gaming centers up here in Seattle. It's pretty amazing. Um RuneScape was your first online experience? Halo 2 would have been well, maybe Halo 2 or RuneScape. I don't really remember. Would have been one or the other. Halo 2 or RuneScape, because Halo 2 was first game on Xbox Live. So, yeah. Would have been one of the two. So, um let's see. Um who typed in their games from Byte Magazine? Who typed in their games from Byte Magazine? I don't know what that means. I was stationed up at Everett for 12 years, and I haven't been there in over 3 years. I haven't been up
That's
there.
best for you.
Oh,
Big,
okay.
Because Dr. Rage is not normal. So,
are you still up here, Dr. Rage, or no? I played Halo 2 till they shut down the original Xbox servers. Yep. StarCraft was my first online gaming experience. I still love that game. StarCraft is a big one. I mean, StarCraft is huge nowadays still. Miss Rage and I are in Arizona now. Oh, nice. Well, there you go, mister. You need some Mixer friends in Arizona? Dr. Rage.
watch out for Dr. Rage, mister. Really watch out.
Mister just moved to Arizona, and he has no friends out there yet. So, but yeah. Come by and say hi. Free dinner? Oh, now he's just luring you in. Now you have to be careful. If there's no windows...
He's got a pit in the basement, too.
If there's no windows, you say bring the food outside.
Yeah. If he's got bottles of lotion everywhere, run. It puts the lotion on its skin.
Love to play Gears of War.
I know Dr. Rage from a lot of channels. He's a great guy. I pick on him constantly, but he's a great guy.
Scribs misplaying the SNES. Too bad AV cable is borked. Hoping to get it repaired soon. You might be able to just find like a website where you can just buy an AV cord for the SNES. That might be out there somewhere.
Miss JG, quit picking on me.
Byte Magazine used to give you a game or two. You needed to type into your Apple IIc. If you typed in the pages of code correctly, you got a game/program. Oh man, not me.
Oh, I remember that. And they were really cheesy games, but I remember that now because my friend actually had an Apple IIc. If that's the right one, it had a little screen about this big, and it was monochrome. And it had the cheesiest games ever on it. But, I mean, at the time, it was great fun.
Are you going to play a game or are you going to Mixcast? We are Mixcasting right now. Anyone remember grinding Oregon Trail? I hope everyone remembers Oregon Trail, especially because it, like, revived a couple of years ago and was huge. What one are you on? For conversation, what game started you off? Was the game that started you off? Yeah, Oregon Trail was one hell of a game.
Exactly, Amaru.
We all died of dysentery at some point. We did. Yeah, text-based games in general. I think I've only ever played like one text-based game. I think I've only ever played like one type of text-based game. It's just not my kind of gaming, and I was very young, so it never grabbed my attention that much. So
all I had at the time was text-based games. The one I remember the most is Adventure, and it would be like.
And then they went on
you're standing on the top of a hill, and there's a shack down below you. Go shack. Open door.
Adventure text game. Colossal Cave Adventure, is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
I feel like they went on to make other stuff.
But yeah, there's a part in there where you get in the twisty turny tunnels that are going in all directions, and you basically sit there and go east, go east, go east, and eventually you'll come out of it if you stick to one direction. Zork, yep.
Zork, I think, was the only one that I ever played.
Hey,
Dr. Rage with the sub. Thank you, Dr. Rage. Thank you. Much appreciated.
You'll like it here, Doc. You really will.
Much appreciated. We do, for those who are new to Mixcast is every night except for Saturdays and Sundays. The only time we do Saturdays and Sundays are if we're making up during the week. We missed Thanksgiving, so we did it today. And we do it 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So be here every day. And
speaking of which, Coat.
I was literally I was trying to transfer into that. God, I was remembering.
Always forget the code, man.
The code of today. So for those who don't know, we give away a big prize at the end of each month for Mixcast. This first month is a year of Xbox Live. We switched around some days, so this is Thursdays. So Thursday's stream is
Thursday.
Turkey Coma. Turkey Coma. If you type in !Mixcast, you'll get a link in the chat that will bring you to the giveaway. You can type in Turkey Coma, and we have a new code every single day. So make sure you go back, you watch the previous episodes, you enter in the code, and you join us for future episodes to grab the other codes. If you want, you can watch or listen to the codes on YouTube, Podbean, and Acast. We put them all up on there, and soon iTunes. And yeah, code of the day is Turkey Coma. I did forget to actually turn off Sparks. All right, I'll let Bongo Cat go.
Oh yeah.
All right, there we go. And then Turkey Coma. So Turkey Coma, no space, capital T, capital C. Those will be that is today's code for audio listeners that are listening to this at a future time. Turkey Coma. That's player.gg/bighungry2x/mixcast1. And right before the sub hype, Belly had said, the first game that I ever played got me into gaming. My dad built me a computer when I was 5-ish. He built me a DOS computer, and I had Red Baron and Mavis Beacon teach us typing.
Yep.
Oh my god.
I did that one too.
Oh my god.
Halo Collector was Vectrix that are you talking about the game Vectrix or that game system that they came out that was it didn't have pixels? God, I can't remember.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Oh God,
I haven't heard about that in a long time.
We had that game system. It was sitting beside the telephone in the dining room on the counter, and that's where it sat for years. I remember playing that. We had like a racing game and the Asteroids Like Tech game. We had like 4 or 5 of them, but it was a blast. But it didn't have, it didn't have pixels, so to speak. It drew lines.
Yeah,
it was really top. It was top of its line there, and then color stuff came and killed it.
Yeah. Star Fox was another great game. Star Fox was like, man, that was like starting off a generation, and they didn't have any idea of what Star Fox was going to eventually lead into. Star Fox was amazing, man. Amazing.
Now, the worst game ever made is this stupid thing called Frogger, where you people squished. I don't like that game at all.
This cast is awesome because I can still play and listen at the same time. Yeah, so like if you miss episodes, they go up on Podbean and Acast, so you can do audio only version, or you can go on YouTube and watch any episode there. We have a whole playlist for it. So, ET is the worst.
Win. Yeah, ET was the worst. That killed the Atari, I think, didn't it?
Yeah, ET was the death of the Atari console system. Yeah, very unfortunate. And now look at it today. So, Bad Frog Play Friday Road instead. It's non-racial version of Frogger, so you can't. So you're not racist and you don't crush just frogs. There you go.
Well, then that makes more sense because I want to crush things other than frogs. But
one of many trash Atari games, says Halo Collector. Hi, Logod.
Yeah, Atari had some really bad games, but you couldn't beat Asteroids and
the infinite going ones, yeah.
And just the beginning ones where they were
Galaga.
First came out because they put the effort into them and they were fun. Millipede, that was a good one. Yep. But and when they came out with Pac-Man on Atari, it started to go downhill in my opinion. And of course, ET killed it, but
yeah,
Yeah, I have a lot of fond memories of Atari.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the last subject. Favorite video game, period. What is your all-time favorite game that you've ever played, and why? And why? I want to hear why. I don't want to
Yep.
just hear just the title of the games. I know a bunch of you already put in the game, but yeah, explain why. Why is it your favorite game?
I'll give you mine because it just popped up in there by I can't say that word. I don't know what it means. That name is The Witcher 3, and for the exact same
Revolution.
reason, I fell in love with it. I played it through 3 times, including the DLCs. It just dragged you into the story so much, and the gameplay was extraordinary.
Yeah.
That it was my and it was, and it's one of the last that type of games I've been able to play.
Yeah.
So, um, I might be a little biased because it was the last of those. But it was
Witcher
just
3
so
was
much fun.
it was very well done. I only tried it for a little bit, but I've watched enough streamers play it. It was a very well done game. Definitely got you sucked in. All right, let me go back up. Call of Cthulhu. Why is that inked? Fable 2, Amberu. Why? Pinball, the original video game, is your favorite game of all time, Belly? Honestly, Viva Pinata, when I got my Xbox 360, I was glued to that game for days. What made you glued to Viva Pinata?
We talked about that.
Let's see. Call of Cthulhu had such an impact on me. I love the books and had such a crushing feeling when you made decisions. Well, that's awesome. And that should be it. It should be like, there's a lot of games where like you make decisions and you're like, all right, what if I would have pressed yes instead of no? And, or there'll be games where it's like, oh man, what would have happened if I pressed yes or instead of no? Like, that's the reaction you should have, like, did you just make the wrong decision because it changed the story completely? So those are great games.
For anybody that either saw or played Becoming Human Detroit, that is one of the best versions of that sort of, your decisions really make a difference in the game.
Yeah.
I don't remember how many outcomes you can have for it.
There's a lot.
There was a lot of outcomes you could have for that game.
Yeah.
It was and the game itself was pretty amazing. I watched 4 complete streams of it and saw all 4 different outcomes.
I remember when the trailer was coming out for it, and I watched the trailer and it looked really cool. Wonder Boy says, Zelda the Ocarina of Time. It was such a great story and had amazing replayability. The controls are so smooth. Ocarina of Time was one of the biggest Zeldas ever. People love playing through that game over and over and over.
Dog God says, my favorite game is probably Minecraft. I like it because it allows you to do whatever you want. It's been going on for years, but my eyes is the best game ever created. You're not the only one that feels that way. If you look at Minecraft streams on Mixer, and as a matter of fact, there's one right now I know is running, and it's an adult. There's a lot of older people playing Minecraft now just because they have the same thing. They can go in there, do whatever they want, and it's just relaxing.
Yeah. Amberu goes back to Fable 2. I love the storyline. I love the choices you get to make directly to the game in a good or evil direction, and the replayability. Yeah. Being able to force a game in a direction and actually see a difference is a really satisfying feeling.
A gal, I hate to break it, but Kay died.
Oh, spoilers? Spoilers? Is there the 10-year rule going on here? Spoilers? Muffin says Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt is your favorite game of all time, Muffin? Oh my
I'm seeing a
god.
lot of Mass Effects in here. I can see why.
What
A
about
streamer on here went back and started playing them all. Of course, we made the rules for him, so it wasn't much fun for him, but it was fun for us. But
Andromeda though? Andromeda was like the Mass Effect killer. Like it destroyed the whole series. Like that game was such a bad controversy that the fans demanded that they redo the entire ending of the game. And a lot of fans say that Andromeda doesn't even exist because of how bad it was. Um, it's such a devastating thing because I remember Mass Effect coming out and then 2 and 3 and then I never played them myself, but well, I tested 1. I tested Mass Effect 1, but I had to test it in Italian. So
that was fine.
it was very interesting. They say arrivederci a lot. A lot.
Who's pinging me?
But yeah, I played Mass Effect 1 all the way through in Italian. That was interesting. Um but yeah. Let's see. Going through Dead Rising 1. I played the game through so many times. Just love the mix of zombies and psychopaths and love the story. Dead Rising 1 was fantastic. It was like one of the like truly first games where you could build your own weapons out of like anything that you found and was able to kill I was able to kill zombies however you wanted. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. Um
Twister has Pokemon. All basically, it looks like all of them, and their remakes because how huge the entire game is. His favorite console game is Destiny, which I can see that. And I think Destiny kind of saved themselves with this release they just had because I know a lot of people were angry about Destiny 2.
oh yeah.
So
Um let's see, the longest I've played a game probably would have been two that are tied. LOE, text-based MMORPG, and World of Warcraft. Played a minimum of 8 years each, multiple hours a day, every day. What's LOE, Belly? Yeah, I played World of Warcraft for too long. I was addicted to that game, and like actually addicted. It was bad. It was bad.
I thank everything that I never got into World of Warcraft because
I was addicted.
my life would have come to a screeching halt.
Mine did. It was bad. Is that Legends of Excalibur? It's a smog code text-based game. Interesting. You never played WoW? You're lucky. All-time favorite game for Dr. Rage. Assassin's Creed Ezio Collection because I love the era of the game and the game itself. All-round replayability to this day. I'm glad that
those were good.
Yeah, I'm glad that people enjoy the Assassin's Creed series. I really loved 1, but I couldn't get into them after 1. Like 2 just made it halt for me. And I couldn't get back into them. So I'm glad that it wasn't. I'm glad that I was one of few that happened to. But the Egypt one looked fantastic. It took them like 3 years to develop it, and then for some reason 1 year later they decided to release another one, and I didn't even know that it came out. That's how like poor marketing they did with it. I was like,
yeah.
They released another one. The Egypt one just came out. So I didn't understand that.
Green Arrow's got this one I like. Pac-Man. Reason being because his mom showed him a original arcade machine in a laundromat. I'm guessing while she was doing laundry, and that would be that. I can see that. That would be a cool memory to have of just you and your mom hanging out. She's doing laundry, and you get to play video games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a cool memory to have.
Yeah. Star Streamer Fable. I loved how detailed it was and loved how you could be good or evil. The game just sucked me in and loved it. Sounds like the same thing as Amberu. It's a really cool reason to get sucked into a game.
Yep, Black Flag, Wonder Boy. That's actually my favorite of all the Assassin's Creed series. I didn't like the new ones at all, but Black Flag I absolutely loved.
AZN. I know it came out recently, but Horizon Zero Dawn on the PS4. The story was so great and it looked so beautiful. I mean, it does look really good. I haven't watched enough of it, but it looked fantastic. Um, Scribs, I've always enjoyed simulation slash farming games like that, collecting things and then customizing your play space. Same reason why Stardew Valley is up there. Did you try Graveyard Keepers, Scribs? Did you try it? It was released by Tiny Build. It's on Game Pass right now, and it's basically like Stardew Valley, but you run a graveyard. It's really, really fun. It looks spoopy, dude. You will get sucked into that game if you liked Stardew Valley. Do you have Game Pass, Scribs?
It looks fun, but there's a lot of walking in it.
There's a lot of walking. So they've had updates, and it's getting bigger and better. So like, it's really really good.
Yeah, I've seen
Scribs, there's actually a
300
sale right
people
now.
stream it.
There's a sale right now on Game Pass. $1 for a month of Game Pass. You should get that. $1. Let's see. Any Call of Duty because I love first-person shooters and I like guns and zombies. Well, that's pretty straight to the point. Let's see.
Somebody had Sims in there, and I can't find it now.
Scribs had Sims and simulations and farming games. I really like Legend of the Dragoon on the original PlayStation. Not sure if that's my favorite game exactly, but definitely a game that I enjoy playing. I actually have never heard of that game.
British Chairs, I'm with you. I too would like to jump off of a really tall building and land safely in a small
Amberu, I mean, my daughter is even named after the main hero of Fable 2, whom you play through the game with. That's really cool. I have a friend who named his daughter Cortana because of the Halo series.
Why would you do that to your child?
I know several Cortanas, actually. And I have another friend who named his daughter Zelda. So... I love the Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal, and their remakes, Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Interesting. So you liked like the middle of the Pokemon series. I'm also allowed to say Mass Effect because the whole series, minus the last 10 minutes, everyone hated Andromeda's ending. The community forced them to rebuild it.
Cade died.
God.
Sorry, I do that to Backdraft all the time because he gets so aggravated over that.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, no, I. Oh yeah, it was. Whatever. Cade died.
Halo Collector says Castle Wolfenstein created the first-person shooter, but Halo is my jam. Music, story, campaign, multiplayer, all just so well done and balanced. Wonderboy wants to know what my favorite game of all time is and why. And Bad Frogs. I'll get to mine in a second. I want to make sure I get through everyone in the chat. Misters has to have been Guitar Hero 2 because of the late night sleepovers filled with junk food as a kid. Oh, I know those. My favorite Guitar Hero was Guitar Hero 3. I just liked the music in 3 so much. Green Arrow. Oh, we read that one. Never played WoW.
We had a lot of sleepovers as kids, and we sat in the living room until the sun come up playing Atari. I mean, you played and played and played, and all of a sudden the sun was up. You're like, oops.
Oh yeah, that was me with World of Warcraft though. I literally, my World of Warcraft schedule was go to school for 8 a.m., leave school at like 2:30 p.m., something like that, and then go home, and play WoW until about 1 to 2 in the morning. So I'd play about 12-hour days. And on the weekends, I would play for about 40 hours on Saturdays and Sundays. It was bad. It was really bad.
Dr. Rage, in answer to your question, yes, but we've got some technical issues we need to work out. He was asking if we're having any guest spots.
Yep, I just got down to there. Guest spots are planned. Being that we're only on episode 9, we're not quite there yet, but we will be getting there. All those Guitar Hero games were so good. They really were. Yeah, Belly, it's dangerous. Can't believe we didn't talk about Donkey Kong yet. Donkey Kong was the first game I ever played on an arcade machine.
It wasn't mine, but I put a bunch of quarters in that machine.
Yeah.
I hate them barrels.
And then I found like Galaga and Pac-Man and all that stuff. But man, that was the first game I ever played on an arcade machine. That game was so good. I actually, like, if I ever have a ton of money and I have my own house and stuff, I actually want to find an OG Donkey Kong machine to put in my house because of how much I loved that game. So
I would want an OG Asteroids game.
Asteroids is fantastic as well.
Yeah, I would want the OG Asteroids. I spent a bunch of money on that one too.
Athletic Bloom, hi. Tropical Freeze. I don't actually know that one. My favorite game of all time was Halo 3 ODST, and there's several reasons to that. I'm a huge Halo nerd. I have 5 Halo tattoos and a whole bunch of stuff, and I enjoy the Halo series. Halo 3 ODST took place at a very specific portion of the Halo timeline, and it focused on, I think, 5 characters. And you played as a character trying to figure out what happened, and you play through flashbacks almost of what's happening to the other characters. And it was just so well done. And you play as like almost a civilian. You play as an ODST, which isn't like a super modified human. He's, just a very accurate shooter, and works for the military. And so you don't have all these extra shields or anything. You're very, very humanized. And the music is some of the most beautiful music I've ever heard in a video game. And it's just so good. And it was like dark and gloomy, where a lot of Halo games are like very bright and explosions and stuff like that. ODST was very relaxed. It was very well done. And that was the other thing. Scribs, the way that the campaign was designed was to not be linear. Where Halo is very like, you go down this path and you're continuing down the path until you get to the end. ODST was like, you almost start like 90% through the game, but you're like trying to find these little pieces, and you flash back to like the start of the game, and then like 20% through the game, and you're discovering what's happening to these people until you like get back to them. It's really, really well done. It was seriously gorgeous if you've never played Halo 3 ODST.
Wonder Boys says the best video game was arcade game was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I never could get into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles once they went past the magazine. Once they came off the page and went to a video game and a movie, they were just so cheesy that I just couldn't, because I knew what the original series was on paper, and it made it really hard to watch them.
Yeah, I could see that. But yeah, I think I know what the game that Wonder Boy is talking about. And I definitely played a little bit of that as well. Yeah. Oh, it's really cool. It's really cool to see the diversity and everything. And for once, it wasn't just like, everyone saying the same game over and over. There was like different games and why. And I like knowing why. That's the best part. It's not like, it's not like Halo because you're a super soldier and you shoot things. Well, that's not like why. Like that can be a reason, but there has to be something like, you know, in Call of Duty they have some super soldiers and you shoot things, you know? There has to be something why. So everyone gave like really good reasons and I really enjoyed that. That was super awesome. So
And thank you so much for nobody saying the F word. You don't know
I
how
wasn't
much
going to
I
bring it up.
appreciate- You don't know how much I appreciate that.
I wasn't going to bring it up. Water Temple in Zelda Ocarina of Time, you like the best moment in video game history? I don't know what you're talking about, Wonder Boy.
Dog God is banned. Get rid of him.
But yeah. If you guys ever have suggestions for future episodes, please join the Discord. You can type !Discord in the chat. You'll get a link. We have a Mixcast channel where we post every single episode, where you can watch it, and the date and whatnot. Also what was in the episode. So like maybe you say, I don't have time to watch it. Oh, but they talked about this. I'm definitely gonna go back to it at some point.
Thanks, Muffin.
We'll put the code up one more time. You can follow Bad Frog on Twitter, right there in that link. You can follow my Twitter in the link right after it. Also, everything is right above Bad Frog. We have all of the congested material right there. We post this every day. I try to post it before noon. Sometimes it takes a little bit afternoon, but I try to post it before noon Pacific Standard Time. The following day. And it'll contain the Podbean link where you can listen to audio only, the Acast link where you can listen to audio only, and the YouTube link which will have the actual video where you can watch. And yeah,
iTunes is going to approve us at some point.
I'm gonna check on it today and see if we've been approved or not. I haven't checked in a couple of days, so but yeah, join us for future episodes. And if you missed the code, we're going to do it one more time real quick. The code of the day was Turkey Coma. Capital T, capital C, no space in the middle, Turkey Coma. And yeah, you can type !Mixcast in the channel chat, and it'll provide you the link where you can type in that code. If you type in that code, you'll be entered in with extra bonus points to win a year of Xbox Live at the end of the month, and we will have different prizes for you each month. So yeah,
just JG, I did play a lot of PC games, but they were not first-person shooters. I've never really been into first-person shooters, other than like Doom when it first came out on PC. So that's kind of where I stopped.
Yeah.
I did a lot of flying games because I had the big joystick with all the buttons, and I played Star
flying
Wars
simulators. Yeah.
Yep. So air combat, that was the kind of stuff.
Yeah. Hi, loading night.
Dr. Rage wants to know how we came up with this.
Yeah.
The short version is, I've been thinking about it and had talked to Big about an idea I had, and then a couple months later, he sends me a DM and says, "Hey, do you want to be co-host on this show?" And I was like, "Sure." And it started from there, and we just kind of fell into it, I think.
Yeah. He had Bad Frog wanted to do a podcast where we chatted about other streamers as they were live and commentary on that sort of thing. However, the legality in quotations of that happening is very tough to do because you have to get the streamer's approval, and if like any bad commentary went through even from the chat or anything, you run into a world of trouble. It's that sort of thing is really hard to pass successfully, and it's something that we can do because so if you look above Bad Frog, we have the ability to show Xbox display, so I can play games. So if we talk about we talked about the new Spyro, I played the Spyro trailer from my Xbox, and we have the availability to also show desktop video. So I can play any stuff that I find on here. Just drag the window over and play trailers through there. show whatever content we're talking about through that, and go from there. So
And so you guys know, it doesn't have to be game related.
yeah,
Any ideas you have, we've got stuff that is completely non-game related we want to talk about, and it will have. Um, and when we figure out the guest idea, like just one example, Twister, I want to bring him on here as a guest and talk about what he does with the tornadoes and that kind of stuff because it's really interesting. Obviously, it has nothing to do with gaming.
yeah. So we plan to have guest spots for specific things like that, whether it's like something that we just don't have a lot of knowledge in that we'd like to learn and teach our community about, such as like tornado chasing or anything like that. And also have guest spots for just conversation based off of games or content or anything like that. So since I work at Tiny Build, one of the things that I'd love to do is actually do an interview with either one of the CEOs or anything like that, and bring them on the show, talk about game development and game publishing, but bringing in community members for, you know, maybe they've been in the gaming industry for a very long time, or maybe they've been a part of Mixer for a very long time and they want to talk about the growth that they've seen through Mixer over the years. Anything along that thing or along that line, or just anything in general. You know, it doesn't have to be about gaming. It doesn't have to be about Mixer, but we try to keep it in some sort of technology-based conversation. So even if it's movies, music, gaming, streaming, we'll talk when football comes around, or when football comes to the end and Super Bowl's here. Hell yeah, we're going to talk about Super Bowl, but we're not going to know a lot. We'll probably know the teams that'll be there, and I'll know like really cool statistics, like what's it cost to put an ad in the Super Bowl and stuff like that, because I think that stuff is fantastic. Like how much money goes into that is crazy to me, and I love knowing those statistics, but I don't know much about the sport itself. So we might bring in a guest that knows a lot more about football than us. You know, I have a lot of football fans in my community, and I'm sure Bad Frog knows a lot of football people across Mixer as well that we could bring in. So we have a lot of ideas to chat about different subjects that we might not have the most knowledge in. That maybe we can bring in someone else to talk about it. Hey, Zombie.
Yeah, and it's that's why your ideas are so important to us. Everything that goes in that channel, I've got on a master sheet that we pick through every day to see what we're going to talk about. That's what we were doing while he was streaming Fortnite earlier. We were discussing through whispers and DMs what we were going to do tonight.
Yeah.
So that's it's really late on us. If it's something that I need to research, I try to get it done earlier in the morning. But other than that, it's kind of spontaneous.
Yeah, it's pretty spontaneous. Sometimes and sometimes there's news topics. So like the day Stan Lee died, we did a Stan Lee as a topic. For anything surprising, like when Mixer had the season 2 update, we did that. You know, so we always do current things. If something had happened that day that we knew about, if we didn't know about it, we could always cover it the next day too. Or anything along that line. We have a very broad range, but we try to stick basically in nerd culture. So if there's anything that can classify you as a nerd in that subject, we'll talk about it, as well as some major events that might not be nerdy. So
no politics, no religion.
Correct. No religion, no politics. The only thing that we'll ever mention in politics is like, let's say it's voting season for the next presidential race. We'll just, bring up, hey, it's important to go vote. Go do it. That's the most we'll ever say on it. So
I've seen enough interest in this photography that
we might do photography soon.
Now.
Yeah. Miss JG is huge in photography, so we might have to jump into some photography. And the cool part is, I used to do some photography myself, but I did aerial photography. I did photography with my drone. I did photography through real estate and taking images along that line. So Yeah.
I did photography, but it can't be shown in a teen channel. Sorry.
Yeah. And then, Mr. did photography
Miss
for concert
JG, why do
photography.
you shoot families? That's not nice. That's horrible.
God.
What?
And with that said, that was an enjoyable episode of Mixcast episode 9.
Thanks,
you,
Chemical. I like it. I like it too.
Thank you guys for joining us.
I broke big. I love you too, Miss J.
Oh my god.
I broke big. I win.
All right, you guys were seriously fantastic. Thank you for joining us for episode 9 of Mixcast. We will not be here tomorrow, but Monday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be here, find out that code, and place it in the giveaway spot. Get some points, maybe win a year of Xbox Live. And thank you for all the support. We had over 75 people here the whole time for Mixcast episode 9. That's awesome. It's really, really helpful.
Your support has been stunning.
Yeah,
it really has.
Yeah, it definitely has. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We'll see you guys Monday, and my regular stream continues tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific. Thanks so much,
don't
guys.
forget tomorrow. It's Jack Box Sunday.
Yep, for my stream.
Some
Sunday with
favorite
Jack
day
Box.
of the week.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We'll see you guys then. Bye, everyone.
Yep. See you guys.